welcome to Laura's Life Coaching. I'm Laura, and today we're going to talk about a topic of setting healthy boundaries. Now, what do I mean about setting healthy boundaries? So, a lot of times people don't even realize that they're being taken advantage of by their time, their energy, and their efforts. And they feel so drained and so exhausted in their life, but they can't figure out why they're feeling that way. And I know sometimes it's really hard to even pinpoint why that happens or what is happening to them. So today I'm going to give you a couple tips on how to set those healthy boundaries so that you won't be taken advantage of by your time and your energy. So step number one is just say no. I know that a lot of times this is the phrase that people are given when they're confronting bullies or peer pressure in school. Just say no. But it works the same with setting healthy boundaries. A lot of times people that don't set healthy boundaries will be asked to do a lot of things that they don't want to do. So how do you know if that person has the integrity or if they're trying to take advantage of your time and energy? So the way I like to recognize it is through my intuition. If I'm sensing or feeling that that person is genuinely asking me for a favor or something that they necessarily need, and they're not trying to take advantage of my time and energy or trying to get me to do things all the time for them, I can genuinely feel that that person isn't efforting that way. But the thing is everyone's lives are busy. Everyone has a lot of things on their plate. And if you're constantly doing everything for other people because you don't want to come across as rude or mean, then you're going to get burnt out very, very quickly. So a lot of the times, just saying no without an explanation is the best way. Sometimes if you say no and someone asks why, what are you doing? That in itself is actually not respecting you, because they're not taking into consideration that your time and your energy and your effort in order to do that. A lot of times people will ask you for this huge favor for them, and they don't realize how long or how much time and how much energy that thing would take for you. So when you just say that you can't do it, sorry, you can use an excuse like, sorry, I'm busy, I can't do that, or sorry, I just don't have time today to do that. And if they come back at you saying, well, I'm busy too, or all of that kind of stuff, then just honestly just go back and say, no, I can't do that. And be very straightforward with them. Because when people are kind of like trying to manipulate you or trying to persuade you to do it, they will try to say, well, you're not that busy. I've seen you. I know that you're not doing that much stuff. And that's not respecting you. That's not respecting your time and what you're doing. So honestly, sometimes the best way is to just say no. And other ways of saying no are saying that you could do it on another day. Say, I'm not available today, but I might be able to help you out in the future at some point. And that leaves it to, that shows that you still care about that person, but that you're not dropping everything for them in that exact moment. And it allows the other person to respect you more, because they see that, oh, this person is not just like available at the drop of a hat. I can't just ask them to do these favors all the time. And maybe they will see it, but if they don't, this is the best way to prevent that to keep happening. So the second step is to know what your boundaries are. So a lot of times when people are trying to set healthy boundaries, they don't actually know that their boundaries are being overstepped because they haven't set boundaries at all. And a lot of the times it's very subtle things. So let's say you're on a date with somebody and this person is sitting uncomfortably close to you, and you would like to say, to tell them to move over a little bit, but you don't want to hurt their feelings because you genuinely do like them and you do trust them. But this is the first date, it's something that you feel that your space and your boundaries are being violated. A lot of times when people don't know their boundaries, they just allow this to happen and they keep allowing it and they keep allowing it. It's kind of like if somebody were poking you and, the first one you're like, okay, second one, third one, and then the fourth one you're like, oh my God, stop poking me. And meanwhile, this person didn't know at the time that they were really bothering you, but because you never said anything in the beginning. And that's not to say that that's okay for them to keep doing that, but it's just saying that if you don't set that boundary from the beginning and say, hey, look, like, you're sitting a little bit too close to me right now. I would really appreciate if you moved over a little bit. I'm kind of feeling a little bit uncomfortable. A lot of people are very afraid of that because they do not like conflict. But I am telling you, this is the best and surest way to know that somebody respects you. Because if you don't set these things from the get-go, this person will walk all over you and they will take advantage of your time and energy. And so I think that the best way is to really to know that boundary with yourself. And the best way to kind of like know other boundaries is to really, really take stock into who you're allowing into your life. So let's say you have somebody that kind of gets on your nerves a little bit, and they talk a lot, and they call you a lot, or they message you, and they expect that you come over all the time, and you genuinely do like this person sometimes, but their constant need for you to be there all the time is wearing you down, and you are starting to get a little bit annoyed with this person. Well, a lot of the times that is a boundary that people are afraid to step over because they're afraid that they're going to lose that person as a friend. But if that person is a true friend, they will understand. They was, if you say, hey, look, like, can you, back off a little bit? Like, I feel like you're constantly messaging me, and like, I feel like I need my own personal space sometimes, and you're not respecting that. If you do that, I mean, sometimes it will create a little bit of a conflict, but if they are your true and genuine friend and they're somebody that respects you, they will respect that boundary. And so the third step is to be okay with a little conflict. So, like I said before, the thing that bothers people the most about setting boundaries is conflict. They do not like creating any sort of conflict, so they won't tell somebody when they're not respecting their boundaries and when they're being a little bit too pushy or they're invading their space, because the people that end up not being able to set these healthy boundaries are the ones that are really nice and genuine people. And these really nice and genuine people think that somehow it's rude to tell somebody that they don't like when they do something, or they don't like when they're not respecting their space or their environment. So I think a lot of the times these people end up in this vicious cycle because they don't want that conflict. But I'm here to tell you that honestly, creating that conflict sometimes is for the best. And, if you're that afraid of creating conflicts in your life, a lot of times relationships really are. They do create conflicts in your life. And, sometimes it's not always that easy to avoid those conflicts. And it's better, it's healthier when somebody really truly respects you. What are some ways that you could create boundaries? Let me know in the comments below some certain ways that you might be able to create more boundaries, more respect for yourself, more space in your life, and in order to feel better in your life. And did this help you? Please let me know in the comments below. And please share this and subscribe to my channel. As always, say no to others and yes to yourself. Thank you so much for watching.